Hi, my name's Neil, welcome to Retro for You. On today's episode we're diving into the world of retro gaming repairs with this Twin Famicom from Japan. These consoles are a fascinating mix of the Famicom and the disc system together. As a bonus, I have a Mario disc to test, but first of all we've got some work to do on this machine, so let's crack on. So although these were never released in the UK, I've seen these before and I always wanted one because I thought these are a really cool console. Now if you're not familiar with the Twin Famicom, what they are is a console that was made by Sharp under license from Nintendo. Now they included the Famicom, which was the family computer, or in the UK and Europe was called the NES, and also the disc system all in one tidy package, as you can see. But not only that, they had the controllers built in the back as well, which is quite cool, so you couldn't lose them. When you buy a Twin Famicom, you get controllers guaranteed most of the time, I'd guess. Now this switch here switches between the two, so now it's on the cartridge and the cartridge port opens. Now it's on the disc and the disc opens. Another difference between this and the UK variant of NES was this came with composite video output as standard, so I can connect this up to a UK TV. Now will, hopefully if we get this working, do an RGB mod on it later on, and that would give me SCART output, because obviously RGB is better than composite, even though I do like composite and Captain Commodore knows that. So unlike the RF that the NES had, this is a lot easier to connect to the TVs. Also having the floppy disk system in here meant you can play games on this that were never released in the UK. For example, Mario 2. Now that's one of the big games. Mario 2 was never released outside Japan, and this you can buy it and run it on the disc system. So that's another bonus. Hopefully we'll get that one day. So without further ado, let's crack on and turn this on and see what we're dealing with. As you can see, this thing has some problems. Now, looking at the issues we've got on the screen, I'm thinking either PPU or the memory as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to strip this down and we're going to have a look at this and see if we can see anything. So the first thing to do is to remove the 7 screws from the base, as you can see here highlighted. Now the next thing we need to remove is a little cover here. Now to remove this cover we need to just push gently down at the front, pull the tab up and slide the whole thing forward. So if you can see here, it's push until you pull that tab out, as you can see, and now you should be able to just slide the whole thing forward just like so. As you can see, there's a little tabs there that go in and push down. So next we can remove this cable here, which is the floppy drive cable. So it's just a matter of pulling those little tabs and pulling that out of the way. Next we should be ready to just lift the top off, just as simple as this. Now there should be some cables attached, and there is no cables attached. This cable here should have been attached, so that says to me this has been apart before. So let's just have a look now inside. Now we got the top off, so what we're looking at straight away, you can see here that this cable is disconnected and it's sort of tucked down here. So this cable here is the floppy drive connector. So that obviously has been disconnected for some reason. Also here, which was a one for the lid, is like a lid switch or something, I'm not quite sure what it is, has also been disconnected. Now straight away you can see that the PPU has been socketed, so that's good, that saves me a job. This is a CPU, and this I think deals with the sound and maybe sprites, etc. Now there's a load of logic there. We've got here, which is the ROM for the disk drive system, I presume. There's a memory here that's been socketed, and there's also a memory here as well. I'm not sure which one is which. I know one goes to the PPU and one goes to the CPU. Now unfortunately there's no schematics out there for the Twin Famicoms. There is some out for the Famicons, and I've had a look. That's how I know some go here, some go there. So what we're going to do is take this board out and have a look what we're working with. To remove the board out of these, what you need to do is to remove these two screws here. Also these connectors along the side here, and there is also this bar here which you pull up just like so and then pull that out, and that will free off the disc eject mechanism that is there. So let's just crack on with that. So here we have the board, so let's just have a look underneath. Now you can see straight away it's had some jumper work here, around here as well. I can see some Kino wire. Now it looks to be done very good, which is good, saves me doing a job. So obviously somebody's been looking at this board and hasn't managed to actually sort out the issue. So looking at schematics, which I shall put on the screen now. Here's the schematics, like I say. Now looking at it, this is the PPU here. Now all these address lines, like you got pin 29, 30, 31 through down to 38, they all seem to go this way and enter a pin on the cartridge port. Now this one here, P1, is a cartridge port. Now like I said before, this is actually the schematic for the Famicom, but I think it's going to be the same. But you can see here, they go along straight to the cartridge port, then they go back through this U2, which is an LS373. So they go some pins along here, and then they go back straight up to this RAM, which is U4. Now I haven't got a U4 on here, I'm just going to have to guess which one it is, but I can maybe work out from here what they're doing. So it looks to me like a lot of these connections go through the cartridge port. It's the same again here with the CPU U6. Now these again, all the address lines are going straight through P1 again, if you noticed. Also the data lines here are going through P1. I'm going to get my meter, I'm going to ping some of these connections out and just see if it is going like it does on the schematic, and we'll see how we go from there. After a lot of pinging and beeping, I have actually pinged all these connections out. You can use the Famicom schematic like I thought you could. Now here is the 74 LS373, which is here, and this one here is the memory chip for the PPU. That leaves this one here, the memory chip for the CPU. Now I originally thought, because there's a problem with the graphics display, it's going to be a problem with this, but all those connections seem to check out okay. And this has been socketed, which makes me think it's been changed beforehand, same as the PPU. So what I've decided to do now, because so many connections go through this main cartridge port here, I'm just going to flux it all up, and I'm going to reflow all this cartridge port, as well as the PPU, the CPU, the sound chip. I'm going to reflow a load of these connections, because you never know with these old boards whether that's going to fix it or not. So let's just, for start, reflow all these connections and see how we get on. Now that board's been reflowed, I did the PPU, I did the memory chips, I did the CPU, etc., and that big chip at the back that I did the sprites and sound. What we're going to do now is get this thing back together and see if it's made any difference. So bear with me while I try and get it back together. Going to build it up for now. I've got it connected to the screen grabber. We're going to push that button again and we're going to see what happens. Look at that. Get in. No corruption, and the picture looks really good. Now it's saying please set disk card, which is also a good thing as well, because that means it's picked up the floppy drive. So all we got to do next is hopefully insert this disk and load a game. So let's give that a go. Let's crack on. Okay, so we saw there it didn't load, it came up with a disk error. Now the disk drive is making like a grindy noise. It's very hard to explain. Maybe it's the belt underneath, because I've heard these belts are prone for going. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take those 4 screws out and lift the disk drive up and run it again and see if we can see anything catching. It sounds like something catching, maybe the belt, etc. So I'm just going to get that done now. That stopped again. I presume it stopped on that error again. Yeah, it stopped on error 21 like I thought, so that error's still there. So I'm going to take the base off now and see if we can see anything else, because all I can hear is a lot of squeaking and a lot of scraping. Now that is different. Why is that suddenly loaded? Is it because that base plate's off? Oh my god, it's loaded Mario's. Oh, I'm going to have to just press some buttons now. So guys, I'm getting quite excited over this. Although the sky looks purple and I think it should be blue, but I don't care about that at the moment. 1 player game, 2 player, 1 player. And yes, I've got Mario working. This is amazing. This is Mario off a disc. Get the mushroom. I'm just going to try 1 level. I don't know why that loaded then. I didn't do anything different. All I did is take the bottom off the disk drive. So to me, it looks like we're going to have to service this disk drive. So let me just play through this level. You can see how bad I am, guys, but I'm actually enjoying this, even though I can't hear the sound. Secret. The money. Oh, I wasn't watching the timer. I can't see the timer because my face is in the way. Let's hope it's okay. Oops, that isn't a good move. I meant to do that. And now, that seems to be... I can never make that jump. Does anybody know how to make that jump? Because I can always end up at the bottom, but that's that first level done. As you can see, I was using the controller, which is there, with the big number 1 on it. So that did work. Although, the colours look a bit strange to me. Anybody let me know why that's purple? I don't know. So, I think what I'm going to do now is leave that for another video, and we shall talk about this in the outro. So thanks for watching everyone. Now this video seemed to go okay, well it did in my eyes. Although we haven't got a fully working machine, it's working a lot more than it originally was. We no longer have graphics corruption, which is a bonus. And the disc did load, albeit with the bottom off and at a funny angle. But that's something to worry about in the future. What we're going to do is we're going to take this drive to pieces in the future and do another video just on refurbishing the drive. As I have looked into this and it does seem a bit of a Peter of a job to do. I should manage to do it, but if I do it and I do things wrong, it'll be good for you guys to see what not to do. So if you're new here, then please give me the thumbs up and like. Also comment down below, even if it's hello. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done already. I need to say thank you to everybody that has hit that subscribe button. I must say thank you to my 2 members who help support the channel. Thank you very much. You know who you are. I will put your names up on the screen now. While you're here as well, check out down below my YouTube buddies. You've got likes of Captain Commodore, 8-Bit Retro Refix, Joseph Retro Bits. They all do great things, and there's also some other YouTubers down there as well to check out. Now we do have a live stream coming up the end of December, which is on my channel. So just come along and say hello to us all. Captain Commodore will be there, Joseph will be there, and also 8-bit Retro Refix, and it's probably going to be some sort of Christmas theme thing if we can. So just come along, have a laugh, have a drink with us, and share some Merry Christmas with us. So on that note, I shall see you next time on Retro for You. See you soon, guys. Bye.